The Next Generation project, I was first approached by Admiral Bob Inman, who was a trustee of the American Assembly, and he said that they were creating this new project. It was different from anything the Assembly had done. It was the idea of Richard Fisher, and they asked me to talk with Richard about the project. I went up to Dallas. He had just started at the Dallas Federal Reserve Bank, and we had a long discussion about it, and it seemed quite ambitious, quite innovative, quite different. I have to admit I was somewhat skeptical about parts of it, but Richard's enthusiasm was infectious, and he asked me to help lead the project. I then met with David Mortimer, and we had a long discussion about it, and that was the beginning of it. That was in late 2005. We had our first meeting, not an assembly, but a meeting in Austin of June 2006, and our first assembly in October 2006, 5 years ago. The idea is that we face extraordinary national and global challenges, that the institutions that were established in the aftermath of the Cold War to meet those challenges may not be up to the task of meeting 21st century challenges. In addition, we need different perspectives, different voices, different ideas. When the legacy institutions of the Cold War era were built, we lived in a different country where the Northeast Corridor was where most of our talent was concentrated. It was a world where white Protestant men who were lawyers and investment bankers dominated discussions of policy. We live in a world now where economic and political, cultural power has migrated away from the Northeast to the South and the West, where there's an extraordinary diversity of vocations, perspectives, interests, and issues. So the project is based on tapping that talent, those different views, those different experiences, bringing people together and trying to both generate new ideas and also to create new powerful networks of young emerging leaders who, as the years go on, can call upon each other and rely upon each other to help meet some of the policy challenges we'll face.
Great.
Texas is one of our leading innovative states. If you were to look at the great demographic and economic changes in the last 40 or 50 years, Texas is one of the real motors of it. As Richard Fisher points out, 40% of all the jobs in America created in the last several years have come from Texas. It's clearly been a source of political power. But I think there's even a deeper issue. People, from the outside world, they look at Texas and they think of a state that has an economy dominated by energy, when in fact it is far different than I think what people realize. It is a high-tech economy. It's an economy that innovates. Even in energy, we're one of the leaders in solar and wind, which is something few people realize. So Texas is a place, it's not without its own set of deep problems and issues, and our hope is that some of these policy networks, as they form, can help in the years to come with Texas's problems. But I also think that Texas can potentially be a good example to the rest of the nation for how entrepreneurship is encouraged, how innovation emerges. And so it's sort of like a lot of things we do at the Strauss Center, bringing the world to Texas and Texas to the world. The Next Gen Texas fits into that model.